Welcome everyone to the latest episode of MANN Cinema Reviews. This is Peter Mann. What's up, y'all? And today I'm going to be reviewing the new romantic comedy, Lockdown. The film stars Anne Hathaway and Chiwetel Ejiofor as Linda and Paxton respectively. It's an estranged couple living in London during the coronavirus, and they're growing further and further apart. Before the lockdown restrictions are lifted, the two plan a heist of both employers to lift a $3 million worth diamond that is traveling and will remain in a vault in New York. The pros of this film has to be everyone involved, whether front of the camera or behind, and it is directed by the auteur himself, Doug Liman. In his early days, you loved his films such as Swingers, Go, The Bourne Identity, and he has since recently directed the Tom Cruise helmed Edge of Tomorrow and American Made, both films really good. With this film, I would say that the strong suit would be the two romantic leads. It's a progressive downward spiral of the relationship, and it's steeped in melodrama. The two have these monologues that just go into depth, just analyzing the power dynamics of a couple and what each bring to the table, whether economically, sexually, whatever the case may be. The two have a point to prove to one another, and why it started out hot and steamy and it's just been going in a downward spiral. Again, you feel the chemistry between the two. You could sense that it was really something magical, something kinetic between them, something that just is undeniably just strong and sensual even. But with the film progressing, you could see them just growing further and further apart. Again, these two have a bit of dialogue. This very wordy romantic comedy, and even sneaks in a heist in the film's final act. And I would say that Ejiofor and Hathaway, were up to the task of bringing their performances to the big screen, or should I say the small screen, now that you can stream it on HBO Max. And that's probably where it's best at. It should be left in the streaming services. If I were to see this on the big screen, I have to say that the cons are that unfortunately this film is nowhere near what it is described to be. As far as romantic comedy is concerned, you can throw that out of the way because it is steeped in melodrama. It is desperately unfunny and too boring and inept to be anything else. I thought that as far as the leads are concerned, the chemistry is there, but really, what is this film about? I like the cool concept of it being in production during the coronavirus last year. It's a sweet setup, and I think it is a cool concept, but what does it do to elevate the genre? It doesn't really do much, really, and you just are kind of playing the waiting game, saying, where's this film going to end up? As far as a series of events that do occur, it doesn't really amount to much. Unfortunately, I think that this film is boring, dull, it is overcooked, it is overwritten. The comedic lines, if you call them that, it's just not there. And I'm telling you, there is a plethora of cameos, and they're mostly Zoom meetings in regards to Anne Hathaway being a CEO of a fashion company. She just was tasked recently to, get rid of most of the staff that she corresponds with via Zoom. And I think those scenes, whether you've seen them in promotional material on HBO Max, were played out in the trailer for comedy. It's really... It's too, it hits too close to home, really. With people out of jobs, with the economic downturn of the coronavirus, I think this film is just seeped in melodrama. I think that there was good intentions going in with everybody involved, with the screenplay, with the direction, even, with the handheld zoom approach to filming this movie. It's cool, but what is it doing, really? It doesn't really do much. It is criminally unfunny. I don't know what it wants to be. Tonally, it is everywhere. And again, it's steeped in melodrama that is really depressing to be funny at all. As far as a heist film is concerned, that is literally left at the final act. In the third act, when the film wants to present something even remotely interesting, it goes out in the most dullest whimper. The heist itself. They're supposed to switch out the $3 million worth diamond, this little itty bitty thing that is in a vault in a store that Anne Hathaway used to work at in her heyday. Now she's the CEO of the company, and it's so easily accessible. There's points where you think that they're going to get caught, even with Ejiofor having a name, Don Edgar Allan Poe, on his jacket. Edgar Allan Poe, the famous American playwright. I mean, London is the posh and the most astute society, and no one has a clue about Edgar Allan Poe. They're not going to question it. Why don't we even do a Google search of Edgar Allan Poe? What's your name again? They don't even check his driver's license. This guy is a delivery truck guy. They don't even check his license. Anne Hathaway comes up with some excuse to, get around the security guard and a former employee that she used to, be friends with, doing a sidebar, a girl talk. And that's how they slip through security. I mean, wow, this film is desperate. And I'm saying all of these bad things about it, but I know its potential. I know the stars of the film. I know the director is capable of much more. This film should have been so much more. And I was waiting for it to be something, to be good, and it never was. Like I said, there's cameos from Mindy Kaling, Stephen Merchant, Sir Ben Kingsley, Ben Stiller. All those names, and not one of them can pull out a comedic line, anything worthwhile. They're literally Zoom phoning it in. This movie is dull, inept, unfunny, unthrilling. It shouldn't even be called a heist film. For it being called a heist film, it's an insult to all heist films everywhere. Unfortunately, I'm giving Lockdown half star out of 5 possible stars. Sad to say, but it is what it is. Stream it now on HBO Max or not. This is Peter Mann at MANN Cinema Reviews. You can reach me on all social medias, Instagram, Twitter, and down below you can click like. Also hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell as well for notifications. This is Peter Mann for MANN Cinema Reviews, saying thank you for choosing MANN Cinema Reviews, and we'll see you soon.